Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So in today's video we are looking at advanced file storage, and in this case we are using our e-commerce project, but you can use this of course in any application that is requiring file storage. When it comes to full stack applications, most of the apps they will require a way of storing files, and for e-commerce it is really a big deal. Let's say an example of this e-commerce, Jumia. They have more than I don't know how many categories, but you can see they have really a lot of categories. So you can see from the main categories they have like 10, and then plus the subcategories, and each category has like products. So basically they have tons, thousands and thousands of images on their website for different products. And file storage is one thing that they have to pay attention, because this can really affect the working of the app. So that's why file storage is a big concept, or something that someone or a developer need to understand clearly as they are going to implement it in an application. Now, it happens that most of us, including me, in the previous those days, we have been using, most of you use UPLOADTHING, right? So UPLOADTHING, or use Next CLOUDINARY, or use Edge, those providers that are there on the market, more especially the this UPLOADTHING. If you look at the installation, there are some things that you need to consider, and things which are a limitation by default, and we are going to discuss those concepts right now. So when we came to analyze the problems that we have with file storage, we come to 4 major ones. There are some others that I have not actually explained in this video, but we have 4 major ones. First one is storage. Okay. So the storage size, as you are uploading images on UPLOADTHING, there is no way in your app how you are getting to know how much storage you are hitting. You have to first go to UPLOADTHING dashboard, and then look at the app, and then look at the size. Like, it is not easy to get this data in your app, okay, because most of you don't actually take it into consideration to store this. It is possible actually with UPLOADTHING to actually get the size details and store them, but most of you don't store them. So this is the first problem that we get. The second problem is updating or deleting files. So as the Jumia, they keep on designing new products and new, you see like these categories, these images have changed. This is like a new image. That means that they updated the old image that was there, they updated to this one. Okay, so when you update, you need to be able to delete these files from the provider, like let's say from UPLOADTHING. And by default, things like UPLOADTHING, CLOUDINARY, the API for delete is not readily available like in the normal installation. So when you just go this, if you just go, this is Next.js, UPLOADTHING with Next.js, there is nowhere they actually put in the flow to manage delete products. So you end up not implementing this, or not knowing a way of how to implement this in your app. And every time you delete the images, or you delete a product, the images keep on piling in the provider storage, but they are just being deleted from your app. So like, you don't have a way of tracking files, like updating or deleting them. They get deleted from UPLOADTHING or from your provider, at the same time from your app. So like, we don't have this API readily available. Even for even if you're using CLOUDINARY, if you just go on the installation, you do not see anywhere they just like talking about deleting files from their storage, and which can give you false costs. You can have you find that you have a lot of costs, and those images you deleted them wrong time. Then another one is scalability. So if you're using, like for example, UPLOADTHING, there is good for example, small application, but an application like Jumia, which they are growing over and over every time night and day, they are increasingly becoming bigger. They need something which is stable and big. And that's why we chose the two providers, the Cloudflare and R2, AWS S3. And the last one is about optimization. So because you don't have a way you are storing the image sizes in your DB, you find yourself in a scenario whereby you don't know which images are bigger. Let's say they uploaded some images and they notice that the website is becoming slow. There is no way they are going to know that this image here is the one which is causing a problem, because they don't have size specifications for this image. So like you see the image is normal, looks like the normal image, but this image, let's say it is like 2 MBs or 3 MBs, and it is causing some problems on this landing page. So, but if you are storing size, you can easily actually detect that this image is causing issues and you replace it or you optimize it. So in this video, we are actually looking at all these 4 things. We are optimizing, so we have the sizes, we are using AWS and R2 for image upload, and we are also managing our storage, file storage. We're going to see in the demo. So I just want to demo for you what we built at the end of this video. So first thing we did, we managed to integrate Amazon S3 and Cloudflare R2 into our e-commerce application. So I have this e-commerce application here. We managed to add R2 and also S3. We integrated from scratch. So this is the only video you need to watch to follow step by step, and you add S3 and you add R2. And the next thing we added is that if you just go ahead and create a new category here, let's create a new category and code supermarket. And I say this is a supermarket, and we can just go ahead and add the image. Let me just go ahead and add this image for supermarket. So you can see right now I'm using R2, and this upload is to R2, and I go ahead and create the category. And you can see this is the supermarket. And right now, if I just go to file storage, so I have the file storage here, which is actually tracking all the files that we upload. Okay, so we have this file storage, and this is very, very interesting to make sure that if you build an e-commerce, you need to keep track of this, so that you just know even how much this month, you can just know even how much storage we did this month, to know how much cost implication that you are going to get if you are just on those platforms. Okay, of course you can just even go ahead and delete the image from here, but what we would want is to delete actually from this side. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the supermarket. So this image has been also added to Cloudflare. If I go to objects, let's go ahead and refresh. So you can see we have this image. I believe it is this one with 86 or 96. Let's go. It is this one, the supermarket one. It is this image here. So just want to go ahead and delete this image and see if I delete, for example, a category. So I just want to go ahead and delete this category. So you can see delete this category, deleting supermarket from this. So you can just go ahead and delete. And you can see the category has been clearly deleted. So if we just go to file storage, you said this updates in real time that we have deleted. The image is gone, even here it is gone. And even if I just go also this side and I refresh, you said the image is also gone. And this is the high class way you're supposed to do in your application. You're supposed to have a way you clearly manage this. If you upload a new category or you put in a new product, then it should go ahead and you see it reflecting in your file storage and also CLOUDINARY. So I don't need to go to CLOUDINARY to check. I just need to be in my app and I'm just checking what is actually going on right now. I can also just delete from this side, or you can even just click here to view the image here. Okay, which is really cool. So this is what we did, and I don't think there is anyone who have done something like this on internet, most especially using AWS S3 and using Cloudflare R2. This is the only video you're going to find on the internet. And if you want to see how we did this step by step, I have even a full documentation of how we implemented it. Please, let's dive in the video and get started. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So in today's video we're going to look at advanced file storage, and in this case we're going to look at the e-commerce, and this is a most common concept when you're building full stack application. One thing that you have to deal with is file storage. Some apps, they demand a high level of file storage, like e-commerce. You find that you're going to have massive file storage. Can you imagine if your e-commerce has like 1,000 products? That means that you are going to end up, if each image has 4 images, you are ending up having 4,000 images that you are storing. So this is a big deal to know how to properly handle file storage. Now, with the existing solutions in place and the things we have done previously, there are some things or the hacks that we have been doing, and I'm just going to explain the common scenarios that we use in normal applications and the drawbacks that we currently have, and how in today's video we are going to look at advanced way of handling these files. So let's say you have an application. Normally what we normally do is, let's say you have this app, and this app, what you just always do is you connect to UPLOADTHING. This is like the common solution that we have, UPLOADTHING. So wherever you are having like an e-commerce, so in an e-commerce you upload 4 images. Let's say this is a product, and then you upload 4 images, and this goes to your UPLOADTHING. So you find that you have 4 images. Now for this product, 4 images. So what happens is that when you update this product, okay, normally what happens is when you update, so like this is how we do it. You upload the 4 images, they give you back the URL. So here they give you 4 URLs, 4 image URLs, and you store. So you go ahead and store these in your DB. Okay, so just go ahead and in your DB you store these 4 image URLs. And now the problem, this is how we use it, most of us in our application. You upload to UPLOADTHING. UPLOADTHING gives you the image URL, you store it in the DB, and that's it. So the challenge with this architecture of getting the images in your app, sending them to UPLOADTHING, and you get back only the image URLs, the first drawback is you don't know how much storage your app is using. So the storage size. So if someone asks you, okay, how much storage is your app right now consuming? So you don't know the storage size. That is the first problem. The second problem comes when you are updating. So updating, in fact, updating or deleting images. I'm very sure, like I think Theo has implemented one thing in the normal setup. I don't know why he doesn't add it in the normal setup. When he's setting up the URL, if you just go to the documentation for the UPLOADTHING, you will realize that when you just go to like the getting started this, you said they give you the setup on how to add the images. I don't know why he didn't actually include the delete by default, the delete route, because you only have like the get and post, and that's it. You know how to upload the images, but now it comes to deleting them from there, like it's not something they just only talk about. like on the page. And it is a big deal because over time the app is going to accumulate a lot of files, and you are just deleting others and updating them, but it's not actually added anywhere. But I think when you just say delete files, okay, so you can see here on the delete files, he has this, and this is under, I think, backend integration or something, I don't know. But you can see delete files takes a file key or any array of file keys and list them from the server. So basically you're supposed to use like this. It is not something that he has added very well. You can see how, and this is under the API, I guess, if you look at the sidebar somewhere. Yeah, this is under the REST API, like to delete files. But in the normal workflow of Next.js, he has not included that. And it's something which is really not good, because you need to know, first of all, how much size, and two, updating or deleting images or files, in fact, not images, but just for files, should be something that you need to have in your application. Okay. Yeah, so then another thing is, of course, you know, with UPLOADTHING, this is not scalable, so we just want to look at the scalable way. That's why we are tapping into S3 Direct and R2, because they are much scalable at large scale. And most of our apps right now, in all the apps we are building right now, at the end of 2025 and 2026 right now, we're just using AWS and R2 for our image uploads, and we're handling everything by ourselves. So the things I just want to add in the app, or what I just want to mean is, for example, what we want to do in today's video, want to have a scenario whereby we can upload images to either S3 or R2, whichever is going to be our default, and then we should be able to look at how much files, for example, the way you see in WordPress, you have the file gallery. You can just go there in the gallery and even upload more images there. So when you want to select them, you can even choose them from your app. So it's something I'm just going to go into details today. We're going to look at the storing the files in their own model, and you're going to see the advantage of this. So we're going to look at also file storage analytics, and this is going to be very interesting to look at these analytics, and this is what we're going to cover in today's video. So just going to do integration of S3 and R2. We're going to go ahead and add it in our, we already have this which is waiting for the image. As you can see, we have image URL. Of course, we do not want to put image URL. We want to go ahead and add the actual image component where we can upload this. Okay, so if you're just like ready, let's get started. So just going to go to, first of all, let's go to JB, and I'm just going to go and look for the blogs. I'm just going to, I know just say Control F on this page, and I can say S3, and you can see it is here, the ultimate guide to Next.js S3. Just click on this, and we're just going to go ahead and go through this. So the first step is to go ahead and install this. So I'm just going to go ahead and install this. So I'll go back to our app. So this is our app. If you just don't just have any app, it doesn't matter. But this is actually episode 12. This is episode 12 of also Next.js master course. If you haven't checked out this course, please go ahead in the description, check this course. So this is part of the series in that course, and it is episode 12. We're going to look at file storage, and we're going to integrate it in our category API that we are currently having. But I just wanted to make this clear on YouTube for my team also for this. So I will also, at the end of the video, I will share this video with my team see how advanced we want this to be in every application, not just like only this e-commerce, but you should have this in, if you're doing file storage, you should have this API really, in your app to really look details when it comes to file storage, because this can be costly over time. Yep, so we have just installed that. I'm just going to go back here. Let me bring this near here. Just also going to add the types for UUID. So p install that. So the second thing you need to do here is to copy the drop zone component. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and you simply just go to your UI here in the components, and let's create another one called drop zone.tsx, like this, and let's paste that. So the next thing after that, let me just go to the next thing, scroll. Okay, so we have some examples here how we're going to use them. If you just want like avatar, you see like you have some variants that you have for different things, which is really cool, by the way. We have a lot of variants for specific things. So I'm just going to go ahead and now we have the S3 steps, and we also have the R2. I don't know, most people fear when it comes to AWS S3, even AWS products plus the Cloudflare products. I don't know why people they always get scared when it gets to this, because at the end of the day, as a developer, you will get to use these tools whether you want or not, unless you want to remain at a lower stage. But if you want to proceed with your career and go to bigger steps, you need to break the fear, and you're like, okay, whatever it is, I just have to break this fear and continue and use more. I use this tool because I know it is a better tool that I have to use in as a person who's proceeding in my career. So AWS and Cloudflare is one thing that you're not going to go away with. Okay, and even if someone told me right now, you add Azure, maybe like I don't know, like Azure, they don't know or is talk about it, like file storage. I don't know what does Azure have. Those who know who have used Azure, like you can just comment in the comment section, like what do they have, like when it comes to files. Azure file, they have also Azure files. Yeah, like this is something you just need to get familiar with. Like okay, I just want to look at whatever it is, and you get to break the fear. But let's say I try to simplify this for you, and I have a guide for S3 and R2, and which is really cool. So just going to set up this. I'm just going to use a step by step. I'm just going to go ahead and go to my Amazon. So let's go ahead and log in. Just going to go ahead and log in. So you can just always of course make sure you enable two-factor authentication for these your AWS. This is always a good practice. So I'm just going to go right now, first get my authenticator. If I can find it here. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. So you can see they ask you for your authenticator. So I'm just going to show you I will show you the authenticator. If you don't have one, which one you should use. Okay, So there is, I think the one I found that is nice. I was using other things, but the one I find that is nice is, I think it's not from Google. I think it's just like is I think it's just put in a Google Authenticator on the on your Play Store. Yeah, I think it must be this. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. So you can just go ahead and install this Google Authenticator app. It is really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go right now. Go ahead and follow the steps the way it is. I know that those people are scared. That's why I'm just repeating this process all the time. And I think in the next other video, when I'm going to be setting this up, I'm going to be referring to these videos. So log into your AWS console, navigate to the S3 service and create a bucket. That is the step number 1. So just go to S3. I have a lot of buckets. Okay, so I'm just going to, this is the place. I'm just going to go ahead, create the bucket. So I'm just going to be saying, for example, of course, I will change this. We'll delete this after the video. So I'm just going to create this. I'm just going to say this is Bazaar. I'm just say Bazaar UG storage bucket. Maybe just so just give it a name that you just find it easy to remember. Maybe just say actuate it in small letters like this. Yeah, we put like dashes or camel case, I don't know. So just say file storage. Okay, so you just give a descriptive name so that you can just remember which app that you are using on this. So I've just created this name, and then so you can just come here down. So you can just leave all these ones the way they are. The only thing you have to check is this block the public. So if you just go here, you set log into this, choose the bucket, select the preferred region, then block public access, and I check this. Okay, then create the bucket. So that is the first thing I have to do. So I'm just going to go back to this, bring it near here. So and I check this. Okay, and then you can acknowledge, and then versioning, you can just disable that, and basically go down here and let's go ahead and create the bucket. This is why I say choose the region. I'm not saying like here it is anywhere you need to select the region. Basically I'm just going to go here, advanced settings. There is nothing to check in here. Just go ahead and create the bucket. Okay, so we have created our bucket. Okay, we have created our bucket, and you can just see that the bucket is here. This is the bucket, and it is in EU North 1. Okay, so it is EU North 1. So you can see this one is going to be helpful, by the way. It's going to be helpful, so it's something you take note, and even the name of the bucket. So let's continue and create the bucket. Now configure the bucket policy. So let's go ahead and configure the policy. So just click in the bucket like this, and we just go to where we have, it is where we have properties and permissions. Normally here on these properties is where we're going to be doing a lot of things. So you just say go to your bucket, permissions, bucket policy, and add this policy. So basically this is to allow us to do stuff, and here we're going to put our bucket name. So under here, scroll down to where we have here, there is bucket policy, and you can just click on edit. and then paste everything you have. Now you see why we have bucket an or ARN. So we just need this an here, as you can see it here. ARN, AWS S3, then this, then your bucket name, and then you put this slash star. So it's very important that you put that. So I'm just going to copy this here, and I'm just going to bring it to where you have this your name. So remove this name and replace with your this. So basically this one should be matching this one. Okay, you can just even just say copy from here this, and then you just go ahead and paste it here. That's the same. Make sure that at the end you have a slash star like this, and after that just go ahead and save changes. Okay, so after that save changes, then configure the A3 core policy. So still on your bucket detailed page, scroll to the cross origin and then edit. Let's go ahead, edit. So just go back to permissions, and I want you to continue scrolling down until you just reach where we have cross origin resource sharing, the cause, and click on edit, and then add this. Okay, so you can just add all the domains that you're going to be using. Okay, just going to add the domains. So here, so just add the localhost. So like for example here, it is good just if you're using like this for 1408, just simply copy this like this. Okay, so we can just go ahead and add all these ones. So I can just add this here, put a comma, make sure you remove this trailing slash. So I'm just going to add this and even add another one which is not HTTPS. So I'm just going to add another one, remove this HTTPS, and now you can also just go to the hosted one. So for example, we already have this hosted on JB unique collections. We might just like remove this because I got another name, but they just say go ahead and you need just to go ahead. So basically you need to add all your stuff here, all your domains, just go ahead and add them here. Yeah, so that's basically what you need to do. Just add these like this. So you can add all your stuff here. Just going to go ahead and save. So after you have added all these ones, just go ahead and save. So also make sure the allowed methods, they are all allowed here, and just go ahead and save changes. Okay, so the next one, continue down. So save changes for production. Of course, you're going to put your production, then go to I am, and then let's create a user. So I'm just going to go ahead to, so you can leave this open under the buckets. I just always duplicate this tab and just go to here on the search, just search I am, or just like people just create I am or IAM. So in here, just need to go ahead and create like click on these sides here. You can see we have users, and then you have a lot of users. I'm just going to go ahead and create another user, and let me just call this one like Bazaar UG shop user. So just like as I said, I always just want to use descriptive names so that it is very easy for me. So provide user access to this. Just go ahead and click next, and then here we add permission. So if you just go here on the documentation, it says you go to the user, create the user, choose the username, attach the policy, and you see the policy we want is this one. Okay, the Amazon S3 full access. Create access keys for the user and save these. So we just need basically these access keys. So just go ahead, and here while we have this user, you could even add him in the user group, but you can just go here and add the user to the group, copy permissions, attach policy. Yes, so just going to go ahead and attach policy. I think this was just here, create a custom one, blah blah. So here you can see attach policy. So just go here and click on attach policy. There's also adding it in the user group with already some policies, but just you can say attach policy direct. And let's go ahead and search for this Amazon full access, Amazon S3 full access. This is the policy we want, and just click next. So I think that's the only thing. You have the permission summary. They give you what you have added. So after this, create the access key. So yeah, so what we just need is create the user. So we have created this user. So let's click on the user and see. So this is the user, but after you have clicked on the user, you said under here we look at the permission they have, groups and all that, but there is actually the side where we have create access key. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on create access key. And I don't think I explained about much about the access key for this, but let's just go ahead. And so here we have more than 6 use cases where we have the command line interface. You plan to use these keys to enable AWS CLI to access your account. Local code, you plan to use this to access another application code. So this is the one I think we need, the one for local code. There is also application running on an AWS compute service, third-party service, application running outside AWS, and others. So I'm just going to click on this. Okay, and then I just going to say use an integrated development IDE which supports AWS Toolkit enabling authentication. So I'm just going to go here and I click I understand, and then click on next. So here you're just going to add a tag. Let's say maybe this is the shop. This is the bazaar shop. Access. So you're just going to go ahead and just go here and create the access keys. So you can see you have the access key and secret access key. So we need all these ones. So after creating this, we have now 2 pages open. We have the one for the S3. We have also the one for these access keys. So now this is a point where we create our environmental variables. So I will copy these configurations and I'll just go back to my app. So I will not show you the environmental, of course, but I'm just going to go ahead and set these ones up. So for example, the first one, they need the region. I showed you the region, the bucket name, the access key, and the secret key. So we have all these ones. On the S3 bucket here, we have the bucket name plus the region. Then here we have the access key and the secret key. So you have those 2 pages is where you can get that information and populate it in your env. So I will just go ahead and pause the video and populate my keys. Then I'll be back. So I finished adding my configurations in the env. I added all these information, and I've showed you how to get all this information. So the next thing is now to start working on the API routes. So I'm just going to first install the SDK, the Amazon S3 SDK. Just go ahead and install this. And now the client setup. So you have to go to in the lib, set up the so I'm just going to go to our lib here. So in the lib, just right click and write S3 client.ts like this, and let's add this S3 client.ts. And then you need to create the upload routes. So in a API S3 upload route like this. So I'm just going to, so I'm not going to put in versioning. So I'm just going to simply create S3, and S3 have two routes, the upload and the delete route. So I'm just going to say S3 upload. So I'm just going to go to our API. So in the app, so you can see we have API send notification v1. I'm just going to right click and just write S3 and then upload and then route.ts like this. Of course, you can change this any you want. You can call it any name you want. I simply called it this, and I'm using it in the components. So just add it like this one. So this is the upload, and then we have the delete route. So the same way, we're just going to create the delete. So here we have the upload. So inside the S3, I'm creating another new file, which is going to be delete/route.ts like this. So add this. So basically, one is uploading to S3. You can see it gets the file name, content type, and size, and then it gives you back this URL. So you're going to say what it returns back is this information with key, public URL, and the pre-designed URL. So like we're going to see how to use this information and everything. Okay, so that's it, and this is the example usage. You can now go ahead and we can test this. Before we go very far, like we can just first go ahead and test if this is working or not. So what basically I'm just going to do, I can just create another page, and I'm just going to create maybe in the shop. Let me just create another page, called it like actually there is a demo page down here. We're just going to see it down this side. So just a second, but in your route, when deleting a resource, you can use this code. So the deleting concept, we actually already have it working. So here, there's pros and cons. So of course, extensive document and community support, features, blah blah, global CD integration with CloudFront. So if you just want, you could connect even CloudFront. So more complex setup and pricing structure, but so we have also R2, but we could just like first test this. I can scroll down here. This why I have the test pages. Yeah, so down there is a demo page. I think I'm just going to use this one. So I'm just going to copy this. So let me just go ahead and right click on demo. Or we could just say call this upload. So just create here upload page.tsx. So I'm just going to paste in this. Let's look at if we have any errors. Okay, so it needs some components from shard. Okay, let's just go ahead and add these two components. So I'm just going to go here. P npm dx shard cn at latest add I'm just going to go ahead and say pnpm.js and latest. We're just going to add the badge, tabs, I think, and then the table. So I think those are the ones we need so far right now. And I'm just going to go check if everything is still working on our app. So this is our app. Can just hover here, everything is working. So I'm just going to route to demo page. So can actually just say simply go to the demo page, demo, like this. Why did I call it? I called it upload, sorry. I called it upload, like this. We still have like I think it is finishing up. Just give it a second. Okay, so it is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and route this page, upload. Of course, we need to work on the 404 page. Okay, so this has the, like, the good thing with this page, it has the, maybe I could, since we have the header over the place, just going to give this padding top of maybe of 32. Just add like space, as you can see it very nicely. So we have the A3 and R2. So we haven't set up R2, but we have A3 working. So I'm just going to choose like 2 files in the download, and not necessarily the images, but let's just put like the 2 images here. And you can see that these goes to our bucket. So upload successful. So if I just go back to our A3 bucket, so use the file storage that we have created, just going to go ahead and refresh, and you can see we have the 2 images. Okay, we have the 2 images that we just uploaded right now, okay, with the correct sizes. So you can see this is 862 KBs and this is 1.1 MBs. So if you go back to the app, actually here in the demo I did, you see down here you have these here 861, like the sizes, you have them here, and you can see. So you're going to do something like this, where you have total files, total size, and the successful ones. Now we demonstrated also the delete capabilities of this, so you can just go ahead and basically delete and also delete. So these images have been deleted, which we talked about in the first case when we're just like doing this. The images have been deleted, and if I check now in here, let's go ahead and refresh. You said the images, the objects are gone from the bucket. This is what you want in your app, like to be able to fully manage, not just only here, but just to actually go ahead and manage them. Like when you delete something, then it goes ahead and deletes them. So let's just go ahead and go to now the setup with R2. Now we have seen the one for this Amazon. So now you can just go ahead and close this. We don't need anything now with Amazon. Maybe we can just leave it open for now. I'm just going to close only this one. Okay, so just going to leave this one, the bucket, open, so that we can be uploading files there. So I will just go to the section where we go to the setup with R2 implementation. So the same thing, sign up for your Cloudflare. Just going to log in my Cloudflare dashboard. As I've said, you don't need to fear these tools. In one or the other, the more you get used to them, the better. Okay, just get used to them. You will just like it. So just go to under storage and databases. Now they have a new dashboard. I'm not sure if I'm on the new dashboard or the old one, but they have a new dashboard. So just look for where you can see R2 here. I'm just going to go to the overview. Now basically, if you're just going to go for R2, they might ask you to put the credit card, but they actually give you 10 GB free per month, so you don't need to worry that they're going to chop anything. They won't chop anything from your stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and also create a bucket. I'm just going to go ahead and so you sign up, and then as I said, the R2 they might ask you to add the payment, but they have a free tier, so they won't charge you anything, at least at the beginning, if you're just not exceeding 10 GB per month. So then we're just going to go ahead and create the bucket similar to what we did. So I'm just going to create a bucket. You can just call it the same name that I used for this. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go here and give the bucket name. Then the location, you just do it, leave it automatic, because they will just look at, they give you what they think is very easy or very near for you. So I'm just going to leave it under automatic. And basically here you don't need to choose other things, but here you can say standard, recommended for objects that will be accessed least once a month. So this is infrequent access, recommended for objects that will be accessed less than once a month. So I think, like, for us, just let me see, I don't know if this one attracts more stuff, but you see the free tier does not apply to the usage of infrequent access storage. Each storage class has different pricing levels, so just click to standard and just simply create the bucket. Okay, so we have our bucket created. There are some of the things you have to go ahead and do here. So the same thing, you can just say select the location, which is automatic is fine. So just going to go ahead and start like doing some settings here. So the first thing that you need to do is just going to bring this R2 nearby here. You can see here they first say they say public access denied. We're going to look at this in a second, but what you just need to do is, of course, you have also your bucket name and everything. You have metrics, and then you also have settings. So just go through the settings and we see the ones we just need. The first one that you're going to need is going to be this public development URL. We're going to see the purpose of this in the future, but right now let's go with the flow in the documentation. We just need to also add the core policies. So copy this and go back to the core policy, add it, just move this. Make sure that the here in the allowed methods you have all the methods, and we're just going to add our local host here, also the domains that we added that side. So you can just go here and get this one, copy. I'm just going to go to R2, and where I have this, I'm just going to paste it, remove the trading slash. I can just like add another one where I don't have the HTTP, because we might just use this, then like so. So this one, remove S. Then we can just also add this deployed one, because we're just going to be using this for testing. Then go ahead and add this, put the commas. Okay, so you can see that you have now you have this. Go ahead and save. So after saving your policy, you should look at your allowed origins. You should see that the origins you want to use, they should be actually here. Okay, you should also look at the allowed methods and the headers. Nice. I think another thing you just that's the only thing you just need right now. We just get to do others. There is public, what we have here in the settings, scroll there down, what they say public development URL. We're just going to go ahead and enable this. So click enable, and just going to say type allow to confirm, click allow. Okay, so this should just generate for you a public development URL. I think that should also enable your public access. You're going to see that now it is saying enabled after you have enabled this public development URL. Okay, so right now everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good, but I'm just going to go ahead and now continue with the documentation. So create the API token. So you need to see near button of create bucket API drop down. So just go ahead and create the token. So that's what we just want. Classic one. Just go to. So if you just go back to R2 storage, as we said here, you can have a lot of tokens. So here there is the, as we said, near the create bucket. I think this was in the old one. So why I say go to R2, manage R2 tokens. So here it was near create this create bucket button, and you could see API drop down. But they have changed that. Now you can see there is documentation, which doesn't help right now. I think I will have to update. But this is the new dashboard, by the way. There is the old dashboard and the new dashboard. Okay. So in the new dashboard, where do we find this? Let's first go back to on our storage here. And they just see token. So we have here the public, then you have settings. So on here you can't find this. Okay, I'm just going to go back to R2 here. It should be here because this is create bucket. Okay, so yeah, now you can see it is down here. So under account details, and you can see API tokens, and you can just go ahead and manage tokens. And now we can just go ahead and create account API tokens, so we can see I have for different stuff. Just going to go ahead and create this one. So I'm just going to rename this one to Bazaar UG token, UG shop token. So I'm just going to do this. Then permission, specify the R2 permission type for this token. Just give it this admin. So you can see by default has this object, but just give it here. You can be able to write, create, and everything. Then how long? Leave it there forever. And then here, just going to go ahead and create the token. Don't do anything here. Simply create the account API token. Okay, so you can see they will give you your details in here. So just go ahead, I'm going to use these ones. In a second, we'll use them. Okay, so if you just go back to the docs, now these are the environmental variables that we need. So I'm just going to copy this and go back to the env. So basically, you can see they want Cloudflare R2 access key, which we have. Secret access key, which we also have. The endpoint, so there is R2, the R2 endpoint, which I believe you're going to find. So let me duplicate this also. So I just want you to go back to your storage R2. So just go back to your R2 here. And let's select our bucket. So the details you need are under settings. So you just click under settings. So you have the S3 API. So this is why we have this S3 API. But this is why we have this public development URL, which has r2.dev. So if I just go ahead and see example here, I gave yeah, so this is just the one, the r2 dot something. That's the endpoint we need. But I think isn't the same thing like the public dev URL? We're just going to see, but I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. So I'm just going to go ahead and populate my env. I don't want to show you the environmental variables. I'm just going to put, so I'm just going to pause the video and put all these details. Okay, we have the token details, and we have also these details from our stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those ones, then I'll be back. Okay, so I've added all my details in the environmental variables. So now one thing I want to clarify on this, you can see the access key, secret key, and the R2 endpoint. These three things there, you get them on the token page. So this page, while you get the create account token, you said you actually have the access key, you have the secret key, you also have the jurisdiction. They say you use jurisdiction specific endpoint for S3 client. So you see they give you this default endpoint. This is what you use, and you can just click on finish, and that is done. So then you go on this page for the R2 on your this is the bucket page. So on your bucket settings page is where you get the rest of the information. Get the like the bucket name and also the public development URL. Add these ones in the env. Okay, so that's the good thing, and you can just go ahead and populate them. You can see I've clocked the thing. So with that, so we also have to set up the API routes. The first thing is R2 client. So let's create the R2 client. Go in the lib and let's create R2 client. R2 R2 client.ts like this, and I'm just going to go ahead. So we have the R2 client. Let's go ahead and create the same endpoint for the upload. So I'm just going to have API R2, so it will also have the upload and delete. So I'm just going to go to API. I will just create a new file. I will say R2, then we have upload, and then we have route.ts like this. We'll go through these files probably when just like configuring this in details. Right now we just want to see it working. So then let's create also the delete route. So similarly, I'm just going to go here, create a new file. I will say delete/route.ts and add this. So you have the delete and the upload routes done nicely here. Okay, and then the next is the example. So we already have the example. Okay, we already have the example. So right now the only thing we just need to do is just go ahead and test it out. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to our app. Let me refresh. Now I don't know if I think the app will automatically restart. So every time you change the environmental variables, the app will actually automatically restart even if we don't restart this. You can see we can just say confirm by uploading and see if this is going to work. So you just have now two tabs, AWS and R2. It's going to turn to R2, and then I'm just going to select the files let's go ahead and add the same two files that I had. And we have them also uploaded, and you can see that these files are here. Just want to go to the bucket, confirm that we have them. So if you just go back to this, to the bucket, go to the objects, and let's refresh. And you can see we have the two images in here. I'm just going to go back to the app, and then I'm just going to delete. So here I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, and this will delete this. So you can see we have deleted them. I'm just going to go back to the bucket and refresh, and they are gone. Okay, and this is how we do it. So we have now R2 and integrated in our app, so the integration is working nicely. Okay, so the next thing is to integrate it into our API. But before we integrate it into our API, we have to create a plan. Now, if you just go back to this, to the demo page that I have, okay, so if you just go here in the demo page, so I have this upload page which has this here. So if you just go here, we have the S3 files and R2 files plus the active provider. We are tracking all these, the tabs are tracking the provider and all that, which shouldn't be a problem. The only thing I'm interested in is if you just go ahead and console.log, for example, the R2, let's say console.log, the S3 files, like this. So if you just go ahead and upload, let's just go ahead and actually upload like one file or two files. Go back to our app, and this is, did we select S3? Yeah, let's just like add, select S3 here, and let's add like two files. And just going to go ahead and put these two files like so. And let's go to the console of this. So if you just go to the console, you said we have an array of two things, and each array of this we have a lot of things. Okay, first of all, we have the key, very important. Okay, we have the ID. I'm not sure which ID, like why this ID is generated. I think from the UUID, but we have the ID. We have the key. We have the object URL. So this is the object URL, like the blob, the one that we are seeing here. Okay, and then we have the public URL. So of course you do not want to use this blob URL, which I believe also works, but this one works like for previews, because I don't know if you just went and copied this and went to internet, yeah, you still have actually the access to the image. I will see if that one is actually useful to store it, but I'm just going to create information that we need to actually be stored. So we have the key, then we have the public URL, then we have this. Now, if you just go into the file, which I'm interested in, you have the path, which we will not be interested in the path and the relative. We're interested in the size. So here you see that you can see the size, and also you can see that we have the type. So the type is okay. Okay, we have the then we also have the name. Okay, like this name here, the 10 concepts LG. We have the name, the original name, which we can also go ahead and store the name. So basically this gives us a lot of data that we can store. Now in all this data that is important, we we need to store all this information in one way or the other. And what I just want is to store the, let me just see the information I want to store. So here in the, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the upload. So you're going to just do, you're just going to say, we're going to look at file storage. In fact, you just call this one file. The model can just say call it like file. So here we just need to store, first of all, we store the name of the file, the size of the file. We store the we need the public URL. Now I don't know if I should store, I'm not sure if we need to store the how do they call this? Let me just go back here to where we have these images here. Definitely we need the key, but we have also this object URL. Like, I don't know if we should store the object URL in the DB, because we already have the this, but I'm just going to store this. So just going to say object object URL. Then we have the key. We have, of course, already the size. What else is important here? Public uploading false. So basically, this is the information that we need to store. For the ID, I'm not certain if we need that in any way. I'm just going to leave that one out. Like, we aren't going to have that stored. So basically, this is what I want to store right now on this, and this can give us everything, almost everything we need on the file. We have the name, size, the key, public URL, and this. I also going to store also the provider, of course, like where it is stored. This can be S3 or Cloudflare. So this is what we need. So I need to create this model. So I'm just going to go in my schema here, and I'm just going to add this model. Just going to say model file, just like this. Now, because there is already stuff, we can just call this one like I just say quite like file. Just going to create file. I'm just going to give it ID. So of course ID is going to be a string at ID at, I'm just going to say default, like this. And let's go ahead and add in all other things we want. So we have, for example, the name, key, and all these ones. We'll just come to know if I will need others. So here, this is going to be a string. And this is going to be not a string, it's going to be an int. And this is going to be a big int. Like, I don't know what's the difference between how much can int store, because what's the difference between int and big int? So int is a 4-byte that's suitable for most general purpose numeric data. Beginning at 8 bytes, therefore integer data exceeds the range. So can I give examples? So the range of int varies to 2 million. Oh, I think this will work. The int will work, so we don't have to complicate this. So the size is going to be int. Int, and then we have the public URL, which is going to be a string. Now then we have this, the object URL, and then we have the key. So the key is also actually a string, but I just want to make this, which is going to be unique. The key is unique, and then we have a provider. So for the provider, we're just going to say that we're not going to give it, you could just say here, enum of storage for provider, storage provider, and just going to have the, so you can just go to drop zone to get this. So on the drop zone up here, you basically have these providers. Let me see them somewhere. I have these the providers, yeah. So there are these ones. Just going to copy them, go back to the schema, and I'm just going to add them here. So we have this, and also we have this here. Okay, so you cannot separate them with the character. This isn't allowed. So okay, we can just like actually use like this. I think these ones, they will work. So here you can just say this is going to be just going to name this capital. So I'm just going to come here and say storage provider, and maybe you can say default, and I'm just going to choose Cloudflare as my default. Just like that. So now we create this for files. So we might just need to link this to either, you know, products, or we link it to, so we need to link it to either category, because this image here in one way or the other need to be linked in here. For example, if we deleted a category, that would be necessitating us, if I delete a category, for example, it should delete this image. Okay, so I can't do it by either connecting this. Okay, you find that category can has one or many files. Okay, you can just have that, and you just find this one by creating it. It has like a category ID, but I don't want it to be actually dependent. I can just create it when it is independent. It has no problem, because file storage can come from anywhere. I just want to keep track of this. You will see how we are going to connect them. We'll connect them via this image here, because this is going to be the image URL that we have here, the public URL. Okay, so that is good. Now that we have created this, I can just go ahead and maybe push it or do something. What should I do? So that means I can also change these ones in the drop zone where we have this. We can just say AWS like this and this. No, I just first have it like that because it's going to cause a lot of problems. You're just going to handle this when you're saving. We'll see how to handle that. Okay, I just want what do I want to do right now? Okay, let's proceed to so we have created this. What I want now is to integrate it in our category API. For starters, in our category API. So let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I will just go and look for the category form. So in our category form, I'm just going to go ahead and go to down here. So where we have this image URL, I'm just going down here, and then I will just bring any of these. We can just go to the demo page here. So in the demo page is where we can see how you can bring in this S3. So you can just go ahead and bring in this. In the category form, so down here, can just put it in a div and then add it here, like so. First, import the drop zone from, make sure this is coming from UI drop zone. I'm just going to change the provider for right now to R2. And then we have these set files. So I'm just going to go to also the back to the demo page. Let's go ahead and get the things we need here. So you can see we just need this set S3 files. Go back to category form. So basically down up here, I'm just going to add this state. You can import this from drop zone. Next thing is so if you just go back and view the form right now, if you just go back here to the form, I'm just going to delete these files and even this. I'm just going to go to the dashboard now, go to categories, and let's go to add. So you can see now we have this nice where we can drop files. And if you don't want that, we can just go back quickly in the form, and down where we have this, me personally like I love the drop zone, but sometimes it can be really big, and this is why you go to the variants, and we have a lot of variants. For example, you can try compact. We have compact and minimal, so you can say, for example, minimal. So you can see the minimal, it fits in very nicely within the UI, or you can just say I want to try compact. So compact still gives you the drop zone, but smaller, like this, because like the normally this tells people that you have to drop some files, which is like a good thing. Then let's look at others. So we have compact default. There is also inline. Okay, so this is the inline. So I know which one I'm just going to go with at this point. Let me first go with compact. Okay, so I have like a small drop zone, so we have this field here. Okay, let me see, does this take actually like a class name? It doesn't take a class name. What about the form item? Does this take a class name? Okay, I just want to say this for like if I just give it like hidden. Okay, so I have this, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on these the files. Now we just need to make sure this is only one file for this case, because max files, we just want only one file for this one. Okay, so therefore I'm just going to go here, drop this, get this image. Let me just get actually image like for fashion. So just get like the fashion. Go to images. Okay, so let's just go. We have this image. I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I'm just going to save it in the downloads. Okay, so we just want to basically upload that image. So what we want is to work with the data. Let's try to see how we're going to make sure that we still stay in this, because basically this is the category data that it expects. Okay, it expects the category data. So we have two choices. We can still send for each of these API. We can also send the, for example, the file upload data. So that is something we can do. So for the image, what my plan is, for these APIs, we can plan it in this way. So every time we have, for example, let's say you are sending to the API, the category API. Okay, we're going to send two types of data. Okay, just want to send two types of data. I want to send the category data and also the file data. So like this. So I need to send the file data like this from the body, from the body. And now, since there is no relationship between this, because in the category data, let's say this one is going to be called category data. So in the category data that we are sending to the API, I need to have the image. Now specifically for the image, I just want this one to be built in such a way that I can keep some more data in it. I'm just going to have, for example, public URL and then question mark. I'm just going to add size, and I'm also going to add the key. So I just need these two things here to save them on the image. And the reason is, for example, if you uploaded a big image, I can just come and I show you the image size even on the table. So like here on this table here, I can have, for example, this image. I can just put below the image, or even here, I can put this image is 200 KB, and you can know which images are bigger so that you can delete them and replace them. That can be very helpful for the e-commerce. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that I keep this, and that's the size key. Now for the key, this one is going to help us to delete. So every time we want to delete, we can easily actually delete with this. And I actually just put this third one. So I'm just going to say the third one is going to be, so key, I'm just going to add the third one, which is going to be the provider. So I can just say actually save it as P. So I can have this URL. Actually, this one we can just call this one image, which is going to be the URL, size, key, and the provider. So the provider is going to be like AWS or whichever provider, but this provider is going to be helpful to us. And by the way, if the data goes via this here, then do we need the file data? Because almost I have everything I need on that URL. Okay, let's first see. We have size, key. The only thing we don't have is the name of the image, which is actually relevant. We basically don't need the name of the file whatsoever. So this data we just need to keep it in the image. We can transport it on the image as params, and when it reaches in the here in this, it can go in this key here. Everything can go in this key, and when we reach there, we actually destructure off. We unpack this information, and then we save it to the DB. The only thing which is not there, we have the size, public URL, we have the key, and the provider. So the only thing that is not there is the object URL, and we actually don't need object URL. And then this then the name. The name, we might just need it. So I don't know if I can just go ahead and put the name. So just say and name is equal. So we just want this in this format. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack these. So I will just go here and I remove only one thing. In the schema, I'm just going to remove only this. Where is it? I'm just going to go ahead and remove this object URL. And with that, I can just go ahead and push this. So let me stop the server. I first go ahead and push this. So I'm just going to do this. I'll run. So you can just say pnpm dlx prisma migrate dev dash name. I'm just going to call this added file table like this. And you know what it is adding. Okay. So this is going to go ahead and create the new migration with now for this table, the file. And meanwhile, you can just go ahead and be working on this here. So the match work is going to be in the category form. So basically, after getting this S3 image, so I'm just going to go here. Remember, this is an array. Okay, so I'm just going to go inside where we have this on submit. I will just say that const the file data is going to be equal to S3 files at 0. So like here we expect to get only one thing from inside, and then we can now create, because we can now say const we can just say now image. Okay, so we can just say const image is going to be okay. So we're just going to build this. So what we are interested in would be file data dot. So you can see we're interested in the public URL. So you can see all the data we have here. So you can just say public URL, And then this, I can start now putting my things. So you can start say size. So you can say question mark. I think we can just reconstruct it in such a way that I'm just going to do this. Okay. So that now we can just say, for example, this is inside dollar, like this, and then now we put question mark size, like this is equal to, and then we can just now attach size, which is on file data dot. So you can find this on file, then dot size, and then we have another one. So just say and we can just say let's bring our URL here. These are the other things we need to attach. Okay, so we have the size, we have the key, so and key is equal to, so here dollar file data dot key, and then you can just say and provider. So that means we need also to get the provider, and if you check on the data we get back, we don't actually have the provider. So if you go back in the app, which right now is actually off, so I'm just going to go ahead and start this. Okay, just going to go ahead and start this. But you can just actually check the file data. You said the provider is actually not there, so onto this you see that we have everything, but we don't actually have the provider at that point. So we can, I think, add the provider if we want. Because you will see that we want that provider to come from, like, for example, settings. So let me just first see, like, AWS, how many times have we used this? Okay. So I want this to connect very well with the provider we have their side, AWS and then Cloudflare. So I don't want the name with this, but at the same time I want it. What should I do? Because I just don't want to be manipulating this in between, because here we have this as AWS and also Cloudflare. I don't know why we didn't just make this one to be like S3 and this one R2. We would have these like so, and then this one would be like R2 like this. Which one makes sense? Okay, I'm just going to leave them like this, and then I'm just going to go ahead and change within the drop zone. So you can just say, can you find everywhere there is this, and replace it with AWS like so. And then the same thing with Cloudflare R2. So I will just copy Cloudflare, and then I will search for this, replace it with this only here. Okay, so I think that is cool. So that means in the components here wherever you are specifying the provider now, it is just going to be simply Cloudflare like this. Okay, the same thing here in the I think the upload page. We have to change this. Okay, we can change where these components are. So you can change replace, and for AWS S3 replace it with AWS. Yeah. So I'm just going to go back to the category form. So what I wanted was we need a way of getting the provider on this file metadata, because if you just look at this, I'm just going to go ahead and also add this. Similarly, the way we add this, I'm just going to go ahead and add the provider. Okay, it's just not a required one. So we just want where we are setting this. So on file change, you can just go ahead and look for where this is. Dot files. So where we have these set files is where you want actually. So just go and search for set files. So there is where we have remove file, upload file. So I think here is important. So here we are having set files, preview files, and all that. So here we have all these, the providers. So if failed to upload, I think the only place I just want is when everything is done. Let me just go here. Not sure at what point. So on drop, this is when like you drop things. And drop rejected. There is where we have onload. Basically, we just need to say it when on this, when you just click on upload files. I don't know how. So here we try to upload, we get this. So if it is okay, so if it's not okay, we do that, and then if it is okay, we get this key public URL. This is why we get the public URL. So I think at this point we haven't, so we started like now the upload. So on upload progress, we are setting the, I think the progress in this, and you can see that they also say if previous files, if file is equal file, if this is true, we are setting this, and all file. So we have onload. We are also setting, and here uploaded successfully. So I think if I'm not mistaken, it is at this point where we need to say the provider. Or we can actually, you can see by default we have this as an empty array. Because the provider is very easy to get since we are passing it in here to know which provider we are using. So what I would do is I would set up sort of an initial file, or I would just come to like I think at this point here, let me just like find any point. So where, like for example, is adding this, I'm just going to add also the provider to be provider. Yeah, so that's the, yeah, I think I just think I can just add it there. It will work. So let's go ahead and see. So if we go to inspect, click add, and just going to look at this. So if I upload this, okay, I just want to go ahead and console the log actually in let me just go to the category form. Let's console the log the S3 files. Of course, just going to call them files, not S3 files. Okay, so we have this. So if I just go inside the details, and you can see, yeah, the provider is Cloudflare. So now the provider is basically put nicely, and everything we need. So we have the provider right now. So we can just now go ahead and keep this. Now, one thing to also note is that right now this preview is using this object URL. So I don't know if I will be like, for example, crazy to keep this URL, but just like obsessed with keeping that URL at some point. I don't know if let's first get this. Let me just go ahead and say ask some ChatGPT about this. Just want to know more information about the object URL. I'm just gonna say, what is an object URL, e.g. this, and would it be a good idea to store this in the DB? Like, I don't think it is a good idea. So an object URL, also called the blob URL, is a temporary browser generated URL that points to data stored in the browser's memory. What it is, so we have this, and then to create, so you can just have anything, like even a hello world, and then you can create this, and then it gives you something like this. The URL format blob followed by the original UID is just a reference point. It doesn't contain the actual data, just points to it in memory. Should you store it in database? No, definitely not. Here is why. Temporary lifespan, object only exists in the current browser session and are tied to the specific page window. They are invalidated when the page is closed or refreshed. Okay, so I think, guys, we understand that it's not supposed to be actually stored. I had this very well, like I was very certain that we do not need to store this in the URL or something. So you're saying the permanent URL of the file should be like stored in the Cloudflare or CLOUDINARY. I think that's the one that you need to use. Okay. Nice. I think that is like very clear in the air. We do not need that. Okay, so now what I need right now is to store that information. Let's continue and store this. Let's not get distracted. So on here we are constructing our image, and P, now that we have it, it is file data. Sorry, so it's going to be this. So I'm just going to say file data dot provider, and finally so we have like file key, then we have the name. So finally just going to say and name is equal to name is going to be equal to file data dot so this is, I think, on file, then dot name. And by the way, we also need to save the type, so I'm just going to say and type is going to be equal to dollar file data dot file, then dot, so dot type. So yeah, so this is the whole image that we want, and this is the image that we're just going to come and put here like this. Okay, so basically this is what you're going to send to the API. So first, we know very well that the image is composed of this. So what I would want is, if I had an image like this, can I create a function that returns the file data? So I would want a function that extracts. So it's just say create a function that takes in an image like this, and extracts all the info and returns it in an object with keys. So we just want to extract it and return it with the keys that match this. So there's one thing that we have added here actually, so I'm just going to add it here. Type. So type is a string. Since we haven't created any value here, that is okay. We can just go ahead and still reset this. So I think that's all the information we want right now. I just wanted to add the type. So I will stop this and go back here and we can just say added. So here we can just say added the type column. Just going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to say a TS function, and returns an object with keys. Returns the object with keys this, and the provider with keys like this. Name, yes, yeah, I'm also make this one a string like this. Okay, yeah, so we just see that would be a helpful function. So file data is this. So we can also have this in our type, so schema, whatever. So here it says, do you want to create it's saying the values AWS on the enum will be removed. What are you talking about? It's saying that the values AWS on the enum storage provider will be removed if these variants are still used in database will fail. What did we do here? Oh, wait. So here is AWS, guys. This was AWS and Cloudflare. I do not want to leave just like that. I'm just going to say no for now. Now just again run it. So we're just going to go ahead and I think copy this function. We'll copy this function and add it in I'm just going to copy this function. I'm just going to add it in the lib. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, so it migrated. I'm just going to say npx, can you say p npm dlx prisma generate, and then p npm dev. I'm just going to go in the lib here. Let's create a new file called maybe image. Let's see the better name here. The name of the file is extract file data from URL. Maybe just going to say here let me rename this. File data extractor .ts, and let's add this in here. Okay, so just see what it's basically. So we have the name, size, public URL as the return data, so that's why it has this return file data. Text in image is a URL. So first it passes it to be a URL so that it can use this. Extract the base, like everything before the query. So you like public is this URL.origin, then plus the URL this, and then the params is URL.search params. And now we can just get them like this. We'll just like try this and see. And of course, let's go ahead and export this. Nice. So what we need is now in the category we send this image. This image goes to the mutate mutation calls our use mutation, which is actually calling our category create function. Category create function gets the data and sends it to the API, and we just go to the categories API in the API side. So if we go to this API v1 categories route, so this is where we have the, of course, the get, and then we also have the post like this. So I'm just going to go basically and have everything from the image. So of course in here we can create everything, but after that we can just go ahead and also put another one. I don't know why this shouldn't even be awaited, but we're just going to say now db.file now dot create. So the good thing here is only one file, which will be different for the math image. If the images are many, we are going to see how we're going to send that. But just going to see here, we can do this. So file dot create, and we're just going to pass in here. So we can first get the data. So we could just say const file data is equal to extract what was the function in our lib here. Just do this. So file data is going to be equal to extract from the image. So we just pass in just image like this. Yeah, this image, which is a string, I'm seeing here is saying, first remove this, import. So we have the file data, which comes with its stuff. So I can just say create, and just going to say data, which should be file data. Let's look at this, and I think the provider is one that is not compatible. So I can just go to the file data in here, and instead of this string, I'm just going to name that this is going to be AWS or Cloudflare like this. Now we get one problem, which we can just say provider like this. I'm just going to go ahead and say the provider is this, const provider is equal to this, and I could just say as. Now I believe we could just have this as a separate type. I say here type provider is equal to this, and then here you say like this is provider. So we could just basically come like provider as provider, and then here you put provider. Type string isn't assignable to the provider. Where is the type string now? This one now has a okay, so this as thing didn't work, right? Yeah, okay, you just need to do this as provider. Now everything looks good, so you can just go back to route, and now everything is good. We pass in this information, and to go, it creates that. So we're just going to try this and see what happens actually if this is going to go ahead and create what we expect. Let's go back here, close this, and add new category. So just going to add fashion. Just going to say this is really good fashion. Okay, the most important thing is this. Add this image. The image is uploaded, and now we have is featured. I can just like leave this. I could also just like add this. So just say is featured, yes. Create category. Okay, category created. So first of all, the image is not showing up, but we can just like make sure that this data that we have here, we can open the studio. So I'm just going to go ahead and open the studio by npm dlx Prisma Studio, just like this. Just look at the studio on the information we have. I like the new studio, by the way. Like, this is really cool. So I'm just going to go here and click on the file. So first of all, if you just look at the fashion that we just created, it is here. And on the image, it is not there. Which is very surprising, by the way. It was created, by the image is not there. Okay, so that was our bad. We didn't console the data, but nevertheless it actually created. Let me just go ahead and go back in here. So we have this, and when we are creating this, we added it as image, as this image here. Can we first of all, before we do this mutation, I just want to look at this data before even like say, can we leave it open for now? And even to reset, let's go back in here and let's click on this. Okay, there was an internal server error and an empty string was passed to the source attribute. But if you look at the 500 category, it is saying that there was an error. Can we first read this? And I have a feeling it is about the image. Oh, okay. There's something here. Type error invalid this. Oh, so the problem came from this const URL is new URL. Error invalid URL. Can we first look at the URL actually that? Let's first look at this. So basically this was the image now. I'm just going to do this. Okay, the surprising part also is that this is the image, right? The surprising bit is this is what we sent. Let me just actually copy this. I think that can I just get this? Just want to remove everything. I'm just going to say that this is the example image. Is it okay? What is surprising is that in the database, how comes the image is not saved? Really, like the image is not there for sure. And so what point? Yes, the image looks good. Let me verify it works with the function. So it seems like according to the stuff, everything is set correctly, right? But so when we use it in the API, but it is actually just saying type URL. I could just give it a, first of all, like I could just give it like I'm having some like challenge. I have some issues here, but I think they're just like TypeScript. About these types we added in the file extractor. So this is how I have changed it. I modified the file to this, and also this is the route. And just gonna say, and this is the route. Let's first see if there is any problem it can point out. So the error shows that the image URL is empty, is an empty string. The issue is that your route, you are creating category first and then trying to extract the file data. But if the image is empty or undefined, it will fail. So basically the image didn't reach the other side, and therefore it was. So you can say validation check if the image before processing. Okay, so basically if you look at it, let's go back here. If you look at it, he has this here, and then if there is no image, we validate the image. I think this is good. So before the extraction of the slug here, we just go ahead and check if this image is there, because we depend on it so much. Then down here, then you can just go extract as before, and then go ahead and create. So you can see it actually created a transaction, which is, I think, nice. If one of the two fails, like both fails. I didn't think about that, but I think a transaction is far better. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and put them in a transaction. So where we have this existing is good. So instead of putting this in here, just going to comment this, and now we can just put both of them in a transaction. Like we just create the file, and then we now create this. This is good. I love this. There is one thing. Why is the image not actually there in the first place? So we send this data, this image, this is featured, and we create our mutate. So how comes if you console the data, is the data was there actually in the console? Let's first track this. So we send this data in the mutate, okay, and then this mutate gets this create, and it has this create data, and it has image as a string. It gets this data and sends it to the API. Then in the API, which is here, we come here, name, description, image is featured and is active from the body. How comes the image is not there? We can just go ahead and actually just console.log. Can we console.log the body? Okay, the good thing now, we have to return the 400 if the image is not there. So let's go ahead and activate the mutate in the category form. So we get this. Oh, I understand. The mutate, instead of taking this, we are taking data instead of taking actually the category. So this is supposed to take the category, not the data. I think that was the problem. I get it. So you just have this, and then I have this form.reset. I think the form.reset, we should call it after the success. So I'm just going to copy these two. Okay. And I'm just going to call them when we have the success here. So toast. Then we can just like do these two. Okay, let's go back here and try another one. So we have fashion. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this from the. I'm just going to use this. So go ahead and delete this fashion. Nice. So let's go back here. Let's enter fashion. And let's say this is the best of all. Add the image. And make it is featured. We can just leave it like this. Nice. Processing and created. So now this is good. So what I want is, first of all, let's go and check here. So you can see that this is all and the image is there. So if we check also on the file, we also have the file that has been created, and you can see the provider is this. So the first problem we have that we can just like first verify the public image URL by copying, like going to this URL. So if you just go to the console, I believe that this must be there. Scroll down here. So we're interested into this actually. So over here, it doesn't matter by the way if you copy this, and let's go ahead and add this in here. So you can see that this bucket cannot be viewed, blah blah, you are not authorized to this bucket. Learn to enable public access. So we need to use, more especially for this, this is what I wanted to actually show you, because if you go back, I want you to look at these two URLs. So I'm just going to copy this, go in here, and let's paste this. I'm just going to paste this, and then I'm just going to go to I'll just go to Cloudflare, go to objects. Let's refresh. We have 2 or 3 objects. Okay. So the last one is I don't know, like just going to get, I don't know if this is the last one, but we can just say copy this. They just try to view this. I just want to go ahead and try to view this. So where can I view this? Okay, just want to view it. Just So I think this is a public. Let's say go ahead and put this. Yeah, so this is the one. So I'm just going to go here and I get another one, paste this, and I just want to see the difference. So you can see that this is HTTPS but that file storage. So you can see this, the difference is that first of all, this one is this .r2.dev. So instead of using the name here, I don't know if this is the development URL. So if you just go to back here, you can see public development URL. I just want to go back to the R2. I just want to go to this bucket, and I just want to go to where we have like these settings, and I want to go and see the public development URL. So if you just look at this public development URL, you see that this, I can copy this and bring it down to this. Also, sorry, I'm just going to also paste it here. So you see that this is the first one here, then stroke whatever we have up here. So we just need to do a small modification, which is in the drop zone actually. So just go in the drop zone. So in the drop zone is where we actually create this, not in the drop zone, in the upload for the R2. So this is why we compose the URL. So you can see R2, we have this construct the Cloudflare R2. So you can see here we use the bucket name and we encode the key if there is a domain, but just return this public, and then we put the this. So actually this first one here, this all of it, is the other public, this key I told you to add earlier on for the public development URL. So this last one, Cloudflare R2 public development URL. So just going to use this one. So instead of passing in bucket name, okay, here where we have this as bucket name, I'm just going to pass this, and I'm just going to say public development public dev URL public dev URL, like this, and then we're just going to simply add everything at the beginning here. We add this public development URL like that. Or if you wanted, you could just go ahead and access this direct. You remove this, but you can just go here where we are calling this function for construct. So down while you're constructing this, instead of passing in the bucket name, we're just going to have now the public dev URL, and this is process.env.Cloudflare R2 public dev URL. So this is what we pass in instead of the bucket name, like this. Okay, and we don't need now the bucket name at this point because we are using it the bucket name up here. Yeah, so far this is good. This is what we have. So this should sort our issue for the images to be now seen. Now what I want to actually smartly do, since we have two categories, one category to delete what I want is to be able to implement the delete. So if we click on like delete this, okay, if we click on the delete, it should click the pop-up and says we are going to delete this category. So when we delete it, we need to extract that information and also delete that image from the storage. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement first of all, create the delete endpoint. So in the API where we have these v1 categories, if we want to put the delete, the easy way is creating here this dynamic route ID like this, and then this let's say route.ts, and we can just say we could just go ahead and do copy this gate here for a second, so you can just add this. Just going to change this into a delete, and then here just going to accept one thing, which is going to be like the params, and then we can just like give these params to be a promise of ID string like this, and then we can just first go here and we say const, and then we can just say is await params to get this ID in here. So we get the ID and we just want to delete this. First of all, what would be good is first getting the existing. So I would say existing category. So we check db.find unique. First of all, let's first import this db dot find unique, and then we just say where we're just going to say where, okay, ID like this. So this helps us to get the existing this, and what we're interested in is we could just get const image. In fact, from the image this we could just say const file data. Let me just go here and I get let me just go back to this. Let's say we're just going to, now for this case, if there is no image, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We need to find the image here. So for example, if, of course, if no existing, then if no existing, for example, we need to return sorry, if there is no, let's go ahead and just do this. So if there is no existing, next response, so here you can just say category is not, category and not found, and then this is for 04. And now if no existing, so here you just say if existing dot image, okay, or image dot trim, so or existing dot image dot trim is equal to that. So we need to do something here, okay, because the image is not there. That's why we need to say the default image in the first place, but they say assume this is going to pass, now we go here where we extract those key details. So just going to say file data is extract file data from URL, and this is going to be existing.image, like this. So on the file data, actually, so we could destructure things here, and you can just, okay, let's first get it here. So we could just say const const key is equal file data dot key. So I think we just need only the key to be able to delete this. So we need to do three things at the same time. Okay, we need to do three things at the same time. We need to, first of all, we need to delete the image. Then we need to delete, so we need to delete the image from the correct provider. So here we're just going to get the key and the provider, actually, and the provider. So here is going to be file data dot provider, and so here we have to delete the category, yes, and return like well, of course we're just going to simply return the message of like the image of this, like image deleted successfully or something like that. Category deleted successfully, just like that. Okay, so we now get the key and the provider. Now let's see, how do we delete the image? So we need to simply call the delete endpoint. So you can just see it in the provider, in the drop zone. So if you just go in the drop zone component, in fact, let's go to the table that we did. So if you just go in the demo page, in the upload, so there's this page for upload. So if you just look at this, let me see what were we using. So it has somewhere where we have also the delete. Okay, so you can see we have buttons here, the view, and we have also the one for download. I'm interested in the one for delete. So a little bit of function would call the remove file function from the drop zone. Okay, so that is also something we can just like see. So there is, if you look in the drop zone, it has, you know, drop zone has the delete thing. If you just click on the remove file, so basically you see it tries to find the file to remove, and then set files, file to remove, and you see here it gets this. Okay, it gets to this point whereby endpoint is uses the provider and then fetches and does this. So this is the code actually I want, this one. So just go to the route. Oh, where is it? Category ID here. So for deleting the from a correct provider, we need to a couple of things. So down here, first of all, we check if we have the key. So if key and provider. Okay, if key and provider, because if we don't have this, then there is no need. This image maybe is from somewhere else, like we uploaded these images before, so we just need to check if there's key and provider. And now we have the endpoint is AWS, and we're going to look at this. We don't want them to be attached to this, because this I can have it in a Golang. Also for, you know, we look at how to fix that, but right now let's first leave it like this. So if it is AWS, then we use this, else we use this, and then to close the delete. And now you can see here what it sends. It is interested in the key. Okay, it is interested in the, okay, let's first do this just like this. So you can say if no response dot okay. So I don't want to do anything, like I'm just going to do this. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll wait in here, and it does the delete. The only thing, yeah, if there is this, and then we can delete the category here. So you can just say await db dot category dot delete. Okay, dot delete, and we can just say where id, just like this. So what I would want to say is, maybe I could add it to, let's see if I can add it to AI, maybe to clean this up. So can you say is this okay? Just going to check if it has any improvements it can do to this that we have done. Almost perfect. Here is a few improvements. So we get the ID as usual. We get the existing. So here we get the existing, and we extract the key and the provider. So it is giving them first of all, they check for the existing, it is up, and then down after it extracts the key and the provider and says if existing.image and existing.image.trim is not equal to this, or if it is checking if existing image, it extracts the key. So at first it just gives them let, and then here we have the key and the provider. Nice. Okay, here it gets the, and then after if key and provider, we get the endpoints. Okay, it added if the response is not okay, just console here. I did it also in the, it added this also in a try catch for good error. So delete the file record from database if it exists. So down here, after this endpoint was actually deleting the, oh, we have also to delete actually the file. I had forgotten that we have even the file. So we also have the file record. So we can actually just go ahead and delete the file using the key, since it is here. Then delete the category. So it didn't put, just leave them alone, each individual. I think this is just like a better improvement. And you can just go ahead and do we have like the imports? So this is just like a better improvement. Let's go through it one more time. So we get the ID from the params. We get existing category if this category exists. If it doesn't exist, we return not found. That's correct. And then we extract. So here we first read the values to be key, to be string, then we just give them default of null, and then we say if the existing.image, if the image exists, then we populate the keys, which is good, and is capturing just in case this fires some error. Already we have some values here, and just going to go ahead and console this, and then key and provider. If there is key and provider, we have our endpoints here, and we just go ahead and does extract this. So this will delete the files from the storage provider, and then we also delete the files from our database if they exist. So if key, we go ahead and delete them, and then finally we delete the category where the image has already been deleted, or in all. So this is what we want to test out. So I just want to now add this on my table. So if I just go to the categories like this, I simply want to go to where we have like the delete in the table. Okay, so this is the delete button, like this. Okay, so I just want to take a component. I just want to have like a delete. See, can you create a delete button component that takes in a delete button component that takes in the ID. By the way, like now since we're using API, we could just have a reusable button. Like we just give it. Okay, let's just try not to complicate. I will just make it reusable in another video maybe. Right now, just say a delete button component, delete, maybe just call it delete category button component that takes in the ID of the category. Okay, and it opens a confirm model, and when a user confirms, okay, it will use the mutation to use the mutation to call the delete API. Okay, it should show like the loading state and the error. Okay, so let me just try to see what is going to create, but we can just create, we can also do our in the API here in the lib. So in the lib we have this API categories index, so we can do one more like our function that is going to delete, more like this one. So I'm just going to say delete delete category by ID, and then we pass in here the ID string like this. I think that's the only information we need, and we're just going to say response v1 categories. Now this is going to be slash, so I'm just going to say slash here. We're just going to call slash categories slash, and then we pass in the ID. Now one thing we just need to pass in here are the options method. So method here is going to be delete. Okay, I think that's the only thing we just need to pass in. There's no need of content type or anything, just pass in the method delete. And if the response is not okay, return response to JSON. I think it's like as simple as this. We need to send there the ID only. Okay, let's just see what this has done. Basically, I will see. So let's go ahead and so this is the delete. It called it delete category button. I'm just going to go to category. So we have here everything in here. Just going to say delete category button. So let's go through this delete category button. See if it is using ShadCN anywhere. Okay, it is not using. Category name is what you are passing in here. That's not that's okay. So it was trying to create actually the mutation function that we created. You can see that's exactly what we have there side. So we can simply actually remove this. There we call delete category by ID, just like this, and then invalidate category set model open and everything success. We can just also toast. So here just going to say toast dot success. I'll just say category deleted. Okay, so basically this is the model thing. The good thing, it didn't even use shard anywhere. I don't know how this model looks like. Here we look like we have 2 errors. Is it because of this? I usually want to delete, so this one is, let's use these quotes. Okay, so just go here in the categories where we have this button. Just going to, by the way, comment this, and let's go here and say category button. So here it wants 2 things. If you look at it, category ID and category image. So category image I think is not. So category ID. This one we are going to get it from cat. So just going to say here cat.id, and then the category name, which is also like cat.name. Okay, let's go ahead and see this in action. Okay, so it has the name delete, which I'm not a fan. We're just going to remove the delete, but let's first try this fashion because that's the one we want. Okay, so it opens like this. Delete category. Are you sure I want delete fashion? This action is not reversal. This can be improved. We'll just see that. So if right now click delete, it is deleting. Okay, fail to fetch users. Where is that? Let's first look at the let's first look at if everything was okay. What did we get? Let's see if we have a 500. So basically we have cannot do structure property ID as it is undefined. Okay. Let's go back to the route for a second. So we have categories ID. Why would the category not reach, like, let's first see if this is propagating through all over. So in the categories, we pass it in here, the category ID. In this is the category ID. Oh, so the question is, how does this actually reach this? So in the mutation, yeah, so here we pass in, actually we are passing it in here because this is actually calling the mutation. So I can just actually just like console.log here, console.log category ID. So if you just go ahead and call this, we are routing to API v1 categories ID and method delete. I think this is what it had provided. Let's first look at, yeah, the only thing you're passing is the method. Other things all remain the same. Maybe in this function also. Oh, first of all, let's remove the return. We're not returning that. Maybe we could also console.log ID. I don't know why the ID is not propagating in the first place. So let's go here. Let's refresh. And let's click on delete. So you can see that this is going through. So basically it means that the ID also is there. So when I click on this, you can see that this actually tells me the ID in the button and also the ID in here. But then this one, v1 categories, the same ID, it is giving us internal server error. So it means that the destructuring is the problem. So the problem might be actually on the destructuring. Okay, let's go ahead and see this. Let's look at example of this. So let's pass in also the request and the params, and then this is how you get it. Let's go back in here. I'm also going to pass in the request and params. Okay, let's see now if this changes anything. Yeah, so I think the destructuring was bad, so it has deleted. First of all, if you just go back to here, so you just go back to the category. If we check, so the category is gone because if we just go to the titles here, you can see that the fashion is gone. If we go to this file, This one has also deleted. And if we go back to R2, where we have our objects, we should have now one object reduced from here. Let's go ahead and test. I'm just going to delete all these. So the bucket is empty right now, no any files. Can just go ahead and refresh. So the bucket has no any files. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the app. Let's do it one more time. So we can just go here and upload, create fashion. This is the best. The best of all. Upload. And create. Okay, so category created. First of all, the image now is showing very nicely. So if you just go back to the file, so I can just refresh here. So we have the file, and then we have this here. And now if I delete, let's go ahead and see. First of all, can we just like make this of course it will be just let me just go to the delete category button. Okay, I'm just going to go, instead of delete button, I don't know. Okay, the text. I'm not seeing the icon for some reason, but when you come here, you actually see there is this so that one is this side, I think, on the button itself here. So we don't need this delete text. I think that's the one we are seeing on the screen. So just click on this, and then we delete, and it is gone. And this goes all the way. So if you just go to R2, you refresh. Come on. So they delete for the image. First, wait, the image seems to be there. Here we have deleted it. If I go to the DB, go to the file again, or go to the categories, gone. But it seems that the API is not propagating very well, because where we have this route, if key and provider. So here we have, oh, okay, we have also this, because I was saying that fetch response, we get this, and then we pass in this. So we need to get this public base URL. So I'm just going to go, first of all, add it in this here. And we're just going to call this instead Next public, I'm just going to call this one the API because this is not the base. Just going to use this as API URL. I'm just going to be basing on this where the API is located. So in this case, I will go to the app, just copy this, bring it in here. So this is our stuff, and let's go back here. If it is not there, definitely just want to put this URL here for now. So it checks this. It checks this is not, this is going to be API URL. Then we go to so right now it is R2 direct API endpoint. So this should work now. I'm just going to go ahead and try this now. So you upload. Let's go ahead and delete this from the bucket. Delete. So actually, I like the delete that we have here. Can we just upload like some files? I just first add it again. I just want to go ahead and now delete it. I want to copy this this thing here. The can I just like screenshot this? Just going to this. Can you improve the delete button? To also have a cross button. So I'm just going to, as it is doing this, we're just going to try again to see. So let me just go back here, R2, let's delete. Let's go back to the app fashion. This is fashion. Add this. Let's create. Okay, so we have this. You check in our R2. We have it, and then we have even the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on delete again. So delete. Okay, the important thing I just want to check in the R2. Okay, so now we have it really deleted very nicely. Right now everything is working. We can just improve now this button to look much better. I guess it must have improved it. So here is the improved delete component with a cross button. Let's look at this, how this works. Go to the delete category button. Just going to fix this. We're just going to go ahead and add this here, delete category by ID. And why I always put them like this can be reusable in any other project easily, rather than just writing them like that. Okay, so we can just now try again and see how this looks. Like if you, first of all, it has added again the delete thing here. So if you click, okay, it has a cross like this. I know why everything is aligned. Let's align everything to, this is the justify center, flex item center. I just want this text here. I'm just going to say justify start, maybe. Oh, okay, so this is just the model itself to be in the center, not the text per se. Okay, so for the text, delete this category. So if I want them to be text left, this work? Yeah. And even this one, let's say text left. Yeah, now it looks normal. Yeah, so this actually looks good. You could just even add like a border bottom. You add like border gray 50. And let's say gray 100 and padding bottom of 2. Yeah, maybe just say 300. It's like too much. 200. I don't think even that is relevant, but this looks much really much better. Okay, so there is one more thing before we finish. So we just want to create one route here, similar like to the categories, where you can actually look at your files. So I just need like a table for files. So I'm just going to use, I think, AI to list all the files. So I'm just going to go and say so this is the categories. I would just give it this page. I'm just going to say just going to give it to this and say I have this categories page. Okay, and I want to create we could even just go here, I think, on upload thing. Let's just go to upload thing. Let me just go to upload thing like this. So what I want is to go to the dashboard and click like on a project like this one. Okay, so I want a basically this. I would want this and have somewhere I have the files like at the bottom, them like this. Okay, I'm just going to go and say, so I want the overview, which should have this card here. For the recent uploads, I don't know if we need these ones, and the large files, we need them. So I just want to go ahead and basically select. Just want to select, like, okay, this one can be selected. I'm just going to do the full page. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here and I'm just going to add that, and let me just add one more thing here for files. So I'll just like want files like this. Okay, let me just also just click and do this full page. Okay, copy. I'm just going to go ahead and add this. So I just say, yes, I want to create the files file storage page. On top on top of the page, I want the analytics to see the space and storage I have currently used. I'm also just going to add that, of course, use React query. Okay, this is React query. Another thing is, so you can just say below the analytics, I want the below the analytics, I want the table showing all the files. So we could just like give it something like this and see what it's going to do. So basically, I can also create an endpoint for files. So inside v1, let's create here files, and I'm just going to say route.ts, and you can just go in this route and copy the get, go in this and add it here. Let's add the response, the db. So basically I want to go to db.file, find many. Oh, it, by the way, doesn't have the timestamps. How did we do that? Let's go back to schema. I'm so surprised that we forgot to put the timestamps. Let me just add these timestamps. Like this. And you know the good thing right now, we don't have any files because we deleted them, so this should be good. I'm just going to go ahead and push. So we can just first say added. Just going to say added the time stamps. Wait, did I say like, okay, I think that's okay. So it's going to try to create for us some few things to use, the API, and so I didn't want just to create this because the video is already 2 hours, 3 hours. So I just want to try to have this. So in the index file record has this storage. Okay, so it was trying to create for us a place to get this. So I'm just going to go ahead. So this is going to be files, API files in the lib. So in the lib API, we're just going to create a folder for files. And in this, we're just going to have index.ts. And this is where we're going to have this. So if you look at it, it gives us the file record. It has the name, file, this provider, created at, and updated at. So it expects to have that. Then the storage statistics we need total files, total size, used percentage, maximum storage. Like I don't think we have the used percentage because we don't have like a maximum of what we can use. So we have this get files, which is going to fetch view API v1 files, which is good. And then we have the get storage statistics, which is going to file stats. So we're just going to create the one for stats. We have the one for delete file, which it has already seen the logic. You text in the key and the provider, and then everything is good. Well, this is good, the delete file function. So we can just go now to the API. We just add only one. So inside the files, we're just going to create another one for stats route.ts, and then we can just add that. So from here, it has also the API, the one for file route we have already done. Order by created at, we're just going to add this since now we have it. Yeah, and that's it. Here we're just going to go back to the files route here. First of all, we're just going to do two things. Just run this, generate and dev. Okay, so the prism, I think it failed. It says you may let's see here. It says you added the columns. We need to reset the public schema. You may need to reset to drop the development database. Data will be lost. Oh, so like did it actually let's do this. Just going to go ahead and clear. So you say npx prisma db migrate reset, and you can just now run npx npx prisma migrate dev, and we can just call this added timestamps to files table. Just going to run this to make sure that the migration was successful. Okay, so it says like fail to load the config. Okay, let me just use Prisma for. I just come here and I say p npm dlx. Just run this and see. So it must have. Let me just run one command at a time. Start with this pnpmdx prisma my db migrate reset. So this one we just go ahead and delete all the tables and then we migrate them again. And that's the one which has a problem. Migrate. What was this saying? Migrate reset. Migrate reset. Prisma. npx prisma migrate reset. It is saying it doesn't know that command. Unknown migrate. Even here is saying that maybe actually just pass in npx db migrate reset, like npx prisma. There is no db. Are you sure? So I'm just going to delete everything. And I don't know if now we have like the correct migrations, because it has done, and then to run the migrations, added file stamp, blah blah. I don't know. Let me hope everything is good. It added the init, the status, this. And that's the good thing when you add everything in this. So it has added everything. So we can just run now npx. We can just run npx prisma generate, and we can also run npm dev. Okay, npm prisma generate. dlx dlx, and then npm dev. Okay, so at this point we have the timestamps applied, I believe. That's why we can do this. Okay, so basically that's the first API. This one for the files, it gets all the files and it returns the files. Just make sure we have files, and then you return files. And then the other one, the one for the stats, so we have also for the stats route inside stats in here. Basically we have get all files, calculate the total size by reduce, and then we also get this. So this is good. then they delete. So you can just say create new delete button component. Okay, so you have the delete file. This one is the delete file component. So we can also just go in the dashboard. We're just going to have another files. Just going to create a new folder called files, or we could just call this like file storage. Okay, I'm just going to create so in the components, so you could just go in the component dashboard, and then we create files. I'm just going to create here new files, and then in here we're just going to go ahead create, for example, the delete file button .tsx like this. Okay, so that's good. And so we can create the files. Like files.tsx. This has some problems, but we're just going to use it. For the table loading, we'll have it. Let's see some other files we have here. So that's the only one we need. Okay, let's just go ahead and see. So we have format byte, fetch files, which is the storage stats key, and then filter. Let's go here. So these are for statistics, basically on top here. Then we have the search part on top, and then we have the table, so it maintains actually the table. So the table has issues, and then T here. So just see where does this breaks apart. Okay. So things starts breaking apart on where we have an anch tag. So this is supposed to be an anch tag, I believe. Okay, so there's an SVG, and here is supposed to have remove this. Okay, so that's the one that was missing. So the files, all the remaining things are not errors. So let's get this table loading from the right place. Just going to use the table loading from there. And now we can just go ahead and create the page the way we have the one for categories page. Yeah, so just like this. Go to file storage, page.tsx, and then here we have like files. And we just need to add this on the sidebar, so we can just go to the layout, dashboard layout, and we can just like add it here. Just going to call this one file storage. Cut this dashboard file storage. So for this one, I don't know if we can just like find the something for file. There is no file. Okay, for now let's use image. Like this. I could just go to receipt quickly. I even wonder why am I even minding about this. Yes, I want to make the ones for. So yeah, there is cloud. I think I just say type in cloud. We'll see the ones we have. So yeah, so we have this cloudy, which looks good. We could just like use this one cloudy or use this one cloud. I'm just going to use this one cloudy. So here let's use cloudy. Okay, so let's go back here. I expected the app to be running. Okay, so basically we don't have any category now. Can we first fix this? It looks terrible. No categories yet. Categories table. This looks terrible. So maybe give a class name of padding of 4. And maybe give it also like what about the text center? Does it center the text? I think that is okay. Maybe just say text also like muted foreground. Yeah. No categories yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a category. We're just going to add fashion. This is fashion category, and then now we can just upload this image and create. Okay, so this is here. So you just go to file storage, dashboard file storage. What did I add on the sidebar here? What is the difference? Okay, what is now the actual thing? Files. It is file. Okay, nice. I don't like these stuff. The table is good. The provider is Cloudflare. The delete and checking the image, but the cards, I don't need them to have colors. I would want them to have, I don't know, colors, and just like have like the normal. They look like AI. I'm just going to go to the files. Okay, just going to go to okay, so I'm just going to go to this where we have these like cards. Let's first look at these ones from overview. So I wanted them just to look like this, but I'm just going to remove the, I think, the colors. So this BG whole thing, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it, and also remove text white. Let me see how that one looks. Okay, storage. I'm also going to remove this whole shadow. Okay. Okay, so the only thing we just add is we could just say shadow SM with a border gray 200. Yeah, like you have the storage. I'm just going to apply to this whole thing. Maybe you could just give them like different rings, but I'm just going to give them the same thing. So go copy this. This one should be BG white, maybe 60 or even 80. Let's go ahead and look for others. Then total files, just remove everything at this. So let's look for files, and then the same thing here, 80. And then finally we have this. Let's also go ahead and replace with this. Just one, just like that. Like one file this month. Okay. Yeah. So this is good. We have the file name and the size, the provider, and we can even delete. We just don't want to delete from here. We can disable from there, but at least we have the file storage working. So the more we add in the categories, so let's go ahead and create more categories. Let's say we go to, let's go to Jumia. Just going to go here and look at the more categories. So just say we have these categories. Save image. This is phones. Then we have computing. And then men's shoes. Okay, so we just go ahead and create those three. So we just go back to categories, and we just want to upload here, and you can just say men's shoes. Unique quality men's shoes. Let's upload like this. it is uploaded, create. Let's add another one. So another one we have just added was phones. These quality phones. Upload. Just have this. And let's create. And finally we have computing. And we have okay, and then we just have this. Okay, so you can see this is great. And now if we just go to file storage, we have for files, for uploads, and these are the files. They are all on Cloudflare, and you can see the total size is this. Maybe if we are say of 1 MB, but we just no need to say 1 MB or whatever, but we just need to see the total size in here, and the files we uploaded this month, and even the total files that we have. Now, one thing that I just want to add on this file storage, there is one thing that I just want to add. Okay, I just want to add one thing that makes me actually ability to create. So I'm just going to create a settings. We just want to create a settings. We add the button to switch the provider. I think that I'm just going to do it in another video, whereby we'll do it in another video, in another episode. In the next episode, before we go to implementing it to products, we're just going to add a switch, whereby we can actually switch between Cloudflare and S3 from here. So if I just want to use, S3, I just simply switch and start using S3 because I all have them configured. Okay, so which is cool. So I'm just going to remove of 1 GB is not there. I don't know why it is getting 1 GB on this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so yeah, that's we can just even remove this. I don't know, the file is uploaded. It's necessary. Let me just go ahead and comment this. Okay, so let me just leave the uploaded. It makes sense somehow. Okay, so this is good. I'm in love with what you have done today. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you haven't checked out the course, please go ahead and check out our Next.js Mastery course. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.